The architect possesses the power of the knife. He acts, or at least he should act, somewhere between a surgeon and a butcher. Architecture, as I understand it, is a section through matter, a separation of particles that formally belong together. The architect slices in order to analyze and understand, but he transcribes this method, this tool, in the making of architecture. What I mean by that is that the same force that leads Mara Clark to cut his linear slash with a chainsaw drives Le Corbusier to force that window open in the facade of La Villa Savoie. Another example is Daniel Hirsch that slices a cow and puts the pieces in separate boxes, creating a heavily charged in-between space, just as Bernard Schumi slices up time and space, transcribing variables from one to the other, ending in the synthesis of a new architectural reality. Another good example is Libreskin that draws a section through his own 2D drawing. He makes a diagnosis of a surgeon and a butcher's gesture. But the architect's knife can also cut slider notions and traditional givens. For example, Mirages puts down his knife between the bricks and the plaster that normally covers the structure and unveils the hidden brutality of a simple generic wall. Architecture evolves through violent acts, cuts, amputations. It is an urban slaughter. The relevation of a skeleton of a building is an act of violence. The architect detaches the bones from the flesh and cruelly exposes them to the world. A building needs to shock, show the forbidden, unveil what is traditionally hidden, what is supposed to stay hidden. I think that what I'm really talking about is a form of creative and radical surgery, bearing no fear since the patient is already dead. Architecture, in the very end, the way I understand it, has only two variables, void and mass, and architects are called to draw the line between them. But every line that's drawn performs as a cutting blade. We have to agree on the fact that any kind of architecture, relevant or not, is a disturbing event. Thus, instead of hitting the brutal and violent aspect of the discipline, we have to embrace it. Only by surpassing the limit of what is considered so far as architecture, we can redefine it. Relevance for me is manifested through realizing that the cleaver and the knife blade operate in the exact same way, in absolute need of each other. Micro-precision, detail, specificity draw meaning only from the brave architectural acts and arguments. By the end of this first semester in Colombia, even though I feel more like Yves Klein's Diving Man and less than a dangerous and violent architect, in the making at least, my goal for this year is to find my knife and eventually sharpen it. So, I guess, beware.